Hey guys, what's going on? It's Bassplate 12, or Mitch as you guys know me. Today's video is going to come from my car. I'm about ready to head in for worship. Today's video is going to be an encouragement and a little bit of tips and maybe a debate about bass and worship. So just some encouragement for those of you that are beginners starting out. Bass is super huge. I've heard a few times thrown around, hey, is bass really important? It's hugely important, and I'm not being biased towards it. It's just one of those things where when the congregation is trying to learn a song, I've heard many times, thank you for the bass. It helps me hear the melody. So it's huge when people are trying to learn the song and know what to sing. They're hearing the bass and they're like, oh, okay, I get what notes are being played. So it's, the drums and the bass are the backbone. They're the tempo setting for that song. So, you're super important. Bass is huge. So don't think that you're minimalized or that you're not important. It's huge. So be encouraged. Rock it out with your worship team. As far as, your experience, you're going to find out, because I found out just little tips and tricks where, you're going to find your niche in the band. It's one of those things where, playing team sports, you have to know your role. And the role is you're the time, you're the tempo, you're the low end. So, as you play and as you keep going on with your worship team, you will find your role. So be encouraged in that. Today, I also wanted to see what you guys think. I'll give you my opinion, and then you can feel free in the comments section to let me know what you think. I always try to memorize as most of the worship set as I can for each Sunday. Obviously, there are times where you might have a new song where I'm still looking at my music and knowing what to play. But I try to memorize the songs just because, and here's where the debate might roll in, I want to be as engaging as I can to the congregation as far as not having to keep looking down at my notes. It's one of those things where that's where the debate comes in, is how engaging do you need to be? I've heard arguments thrown around, it's not a performance, it's not a concert. And you're right, it's not. But I also feel like you need to meet the congregation to the point where you're excited. When they look up there, they want to see engagement, excitement. I feel like if I'm looking at my notes, they don't get that from me. Now, obviously, if you're a beginner, don't think that I'm, making you now feel stressed or pressured to, memorize everything. Obviously, the notes are important and you need to be playing the right notes. But if you can, and that's where we start to get better each week, each month, each year, to start memorizing one or two or three or in the entire set. So that way you're able to smile, you're able to look at people, to look like you're having fun. Because when I look up at worship teams and I see people just dialed in on their notes and what they're playing, I seem to lose that engagement where I feel like, and some of you might say, well, hey, Mitch, it's up to each individual person to be excited. And to a point, you're right. But I feel like the energy needs to come from the band, the worship team. And I sometimes find that hard if I'm too dialed into my notes. So there's where I feel the balance is. The balance needs to be know the notes, but also be engaging to the point where people can look up there and go, that guy's having a good time. That guy is making me excited about being here, about worshiping. So you guys can let me know what you think. But in the end, I want you to be just know your craft. To say each Sunday, you know what, I'm going to learn something either from the band, I'm going to learn something for myself. I'm going to get better each week, each day, until you feel like, and I'll be honest, I've been doing this forever and I still don't know everything. There's times or each week where I'm like, okay, got that point, got that tip. So, don't feel like you got to know it all in a month. Don't figure, that, your learning is too slow. It's going to take time, and be encouraged. Okay, guys? All right. I'm Baseplate 12. I will see you guys on the next video. Thanks for watching.